You're sitting there, doing your thing. No contact, no calls, no double texts. You're holding the line, staying disciplined. But somewhere between your morning coffee and those late-night scrolls, a thought creeps in. She's just as silent. Not a word from her. No accidental story views, no breadcrumb likes, not even a hope you're okay. And now your mind starts racing. Is she done? Is this her version of no contact too? Is she playing the same game, or did she already move on? But here's what most men don't realize. This silence between you two, it's not a war of patience. It's not about who texts first. It's a mirror. It's the one who cracks. The one who gives in usually isn't the stronger one. It's the one who forgot his mission. It's the one who slipped back into his emotional need for reassurance. You're not here to crack. You're here to rise. You're not waiting for her message. You're rediscovering your center. This isn't about proving anything to her. It's about becoming the man who no longer needs to. No contact is not a strategy to win her back. It's a period of transformation, a time to reforge the man inside. While she's staying silent, you're building noise in your own world, lifting heavier, grinding harder, thinking sharper. You're not on pause. You're in motion. Let her do no contact. Let her stay quiet. She waits to see if you'll break. You're becoming someone unrecognizable to the version of her that left. The silence isn't a test you pass by waiting. It's a crucible. And the man who comes out the other side, he doesn't chase. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't wait. He arrives, changed, unshaken, relentless. Most men mess up no contact because they treat it like a countdown. They look at the calendar like it's going to deliver a miracle. Day 10, day 15, day 30, like some magic number exists where she's guaranteed to come back. But that mindset, it's weakness disguised as discipline, because no woman is drawn to the man who's just sitting there, silently hoping, frozen in place. She doesn't want the man who waits. She remembers the man who builds. And if you're honest with yourself, you'll see it too. Every hour you spend checking if she's viewed your story, every moment you waste thinking about what she's doing is energy stolen from your own growth. It's not strength, that's stagnation. You're not on pause, you're in the gym. You're fixing your finances. You're tightening your circle, upgrading your focus, becoming the man who doesn't just get over her, he evolves past her. It's the version of you she walked away from. He's done. He doesn't get a second chance unless you bury him and replace him with someone more grounded, more disciplined, more dangerous. No contact isn't a strategy to win her back. It's a crucible to build yourself better. So stop watching the clock. Let go of the false hope tied to days. There is no day that guarantees her return. But there is a moment where you no longer care, because you've built so much in her absence. She's not the reward anymore. You are. Let your silence be backed by transformation, because women don't chase time, they chase value. And the man who used no contact to reinvent himself? That man becomes unforgettable. Not because he waited, but because he grew too. Far beyond the version she left, silence on its own doesn't mean much. Anyone can disappear. Anyone can vanish off social media, ignore texts, stay quiet. Real silence, the kind that speaks, it's built on composure, strength, and movement. And here's where most men get it wrong. They think their silence is enough. They stay quiet, but inside they're still obsessing, still checking her page, still reacting emotionally. That's not power. That's noise in disguise.
What actually captures her attention during no contact isn't passivity.
It's unpredictability. It's when you vanish without panic, when your life moves without missing a beat. She starts to wonder, why didn't he chase? Why is he so calm? Did I not matter like I thought? Is that curiosity? That's the beginning of pressure. Silence with direction causes doubt. And doubt changes the frame. You're not supposed to chase. You're not supposed to react. You're supposed to disappear into purpose. Not in bitterness, but in focus. Every time she checks in and sees nothing, no posts, no subtext, no reaction, she has to fill in the blanks. The blanks always say more than words ever could. Did he move on? Did he upgrade? Did I mess up? Let her ask those questions. That's how you control the narrative without saying a single word. Because after a breakup, she builds a story about you. And your job isn't to correct it, it's to become so different, so grounded that her old assumptions collapse on their own. Your silence isn't empty space. It's a canvas. And every action you take behind the scenes, every shift, every level up paints a version of you she can't predict. That's what makes you unforgettable. Not your words, not your effort. Your evolution. Emotional discipline is the trait she never saw coming. She expected you to break, to lash out, to send a drunk text at 2 a.m., to post something passive-aggressive, to try to make her jealous. That's what most men do. They can't handle the weight of silence, so they act out just to feel seen. But when you don't, when you stay unreadable, calm, composed, that's real power. Because it means you've mastered the one thing most can't, your emotions. You're not posting cryptic quotes. You're not throwing jabs. You're not giving her anything to react to. And that silence, it becomes presence. It becomes gravity. She can feel it even without a single word. See, women expect chaos after a breakup. They expect a man to spiral. So when you do the opposite, when you disappear and elevate, it shakes the narrative. She doesn't know what you're thinking, and in that void, curiosity starts to grow. She starts wondering if she even mattered, if you ever truly cared. And that mystery is more powerful than any message you could send. Emotional poker is about never showing your hand. Not because you're hiding, but because you're in control. You don't need to prove you're over her. Just need to move like a man who's not chained to the past. She might still be doing no contact too. But if you're the one holding the line without a flinch, you own the frame. Because the man who doesn't react, who doesn't reach, who doesn't reveal, that's the man she remembers. Not because he played games, but because he didn't need to. He already won the moment he stopped needing her response to feel. Powerful. That's emotional dominance, and most men never taste it. Real detachment isn't about pretending not to care. It's about choosing peace over chaos. It's not cold. It's clarity. Most men confuse the two. They think if they stop texting, stop chasing, stop reacting, it means they've moved on. But inside, they're still tied to her energy, still hoping, still emotionally attached. True detachment isn't bitterness, it's power. It's when you can miss her and still not move. When you can feel something and still prioritize your growth, that's what shakes her. Not your anger, not your silence, but your peace. She might tell herself you've grown cold. She might think you're numb or done. But the truth is, you've just stopped choosing emotional chaos. You've stopped chasing comfort from someone who walked away. That energy, that centered, grounded, calm energy, it stays with her. It lingers. It makes her question her decision in silence. Because at the end of the day, her silence only holds power if you're still searching for noise. Once you detach, truly detach, her silence feels small, irrelevant. It no longer disrupts your flow. And that's when everything changes. Not for her, for you. You start building without emotional anchors. You start thriving without validation. And that version of you, the man who can walk away without resentment, that's the man who commands. Presence. You don't detach because you don't feel. Detach because you finally see the bigger picture. You see that your mission, your peace, your identity can't be held hostage by someone else's silence. Let her do no contact. Let her wonder. While she's using the quiet to manipulate the dynamic, you're using it to upgrade your soul. That's not avoidance. That's evolution. And the man who chooses himself, he never goes unnoticed.